Good afternoon. We're going to feature the intraday trade on Apple Computer. What did Apple Computer do very well today? It got sold out at 420. Our price target was 425. That was several weeks ago and months ago. And we could undercut and come down here. Today, I'm going to point out the fact that we have $14.44 range off of the bottom. What I will point out here carefully in our platform is we got $14.44 in the call side, and people came in as the markets are making all-time highs. They decided to buy Apple today. The value investor is in there. It makes its highs, and what I would like to point out is how the 435 put pays and the call pays. The calls are over here. They're 425 calls on Apple. Apple also has a 5.77 low and the 435 put with the 15.83 high. These are great trades. When we define risk in movement in both directional price movements, that people can capture the $14.44 off of the low. You can go off of the intraday low. It's $8 off of the intraday low, but the range is still 14.44. So when you're buying the put option up here, the 435 was $5.77. Now on the flip side of that, when we were down here breaking out, I'll show you clearly that this is the 425 call on Apple Computer. They closed at 1041. They marked the public all the way down, and everyone in the pit, they marked them all the way down to 470. Bottom, walked them to 1229 on the high. Now they're still up 2.91. However, when you buy the calls in this particular trade that goes from this entry and it comes back and it tests and everything is working, you have to sell them so that you can get on this side of the transaction at the low price. When the call over here was at its peak level to that resistance level, the call was at its peak. And this was at its peak low level on value. They closed at 1705. The high was 1583. Look at where they took the low to, 5.77. Yeah, and it can be quite emotional for people, but they have great trades off of the bottom. And when we hit the wall of resistance, as we see here, we had the total reversal. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reversal side. Reversal side is very clear. And it's very clear because this has a certain way of trading. That when this thing goes up to no matter what upper resistance levels that Apple will be, it will have that intraday reversal, which makes these wholesale entries at their lowest risk level with the highest profit potential. So, on the flip side of that, I will show the people here that when we put the bottom in, what does that bottom look like? And how does it start? It starts here with the gap. They run it up and Apple pulled back and it held its half bar support. The trend changed right here and it took out that high. And we went straight up to the top. So when this thing was making its move right here, this is where the entry is. This is where the pullback was. This is where the turn was mathematically. And it was. So what we would say is that as long as the diamonds had that many of them to the upside and pulling back and holding half bars, people bought Apple Computer on the first day. Why did they do that? It's oversold. It will have very nice trading ranges off of the bottom because even though that we rallied to 435 and then pulled back at the top, here's the top of the rally, and that reversal came in, that's when those prices peaked there, and that's when these were transactable here. When we define risk and directional price movement, we do not have a lot of high frequency in here. The emotional side of the trade is very, very easy to deal with. The resistance levels sell down for this transaction of the market. The breakout levels will bounce on support levels, but it'll have to be at lower levels down in here. The reason why it will bounce at support levels is because the very short-term time series of overbought condition is in the name, and which for a period of time until it breaks lower lows, it will continue to bounce off of the lower end of the support levels due to the fact that it is oversold over a long period of time. However, Apple Computer will never trade like it used to. A lot of people have moved away from there and they've gone to Google now, and they've gone to other areas like LinkedIn or Netflix or Amazon. They found other places that they thought they could be in the market that would be better because of the whole belief that the stock is washed out. It's washed out on that lower level of support where you get the bounces which support this call side of the market. But let us not forget, both sides of the market from 1041 was marked down to 470. That's the area down here, $5 that you want to get in, 490, 520, 550, your wholesale. And then you get the big breakout to support the position right here. Then you get up to the reversal once again. And then you come down intraday. It will have a range that will be very accurate both on the long side and both on the short side. Therefore, when you are trading it and you do get hit at the wholesale entries, that's having said that, you can see that support level, which is about half of where the bottom was in the distance. So this line right here goes right over here to where the major part of the breakout happened when we cleared this resistance area here. And we did. And we pulled back and we held the half bar, and then we continued to go higher. And we did. Now that we have come up here, we are at an area that we will test half bars. So when we rally up off of the bottom from its long-term pullback, if you don't cash in the puts, they go back down in value when this rally occurs down here at that teeny support level. However, when we hit this upper resistance level, we'll watch where these bars are, these half bar values. They're here and they're here. That will be the resistance level. Once again, it's done live right now, and it's 12:14. We have 45 minutes to the close. This is the full range of the day, and by getting this full range from that overbought condition makes our opportunities at lower price levels on drop down bids to get the entries, because we will bounce off of support in Apple in the very short time period. No one said that this was indefinitely. It's here and it's now in the time series price cycle.